Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kid in a Sweet Shop. So today we have an amazing episode. As you can see, we've come down to Gordon Murray Automotives because they are launching the brand new T33 Spider, and the man himself is going to be walking us around this car. So let's go inside, let's go and meet the star of the show, the T33, and talk to the guys. Where is he? Oh, wow. Sorry, I am very excited to see you, but look. Oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, how are you?
Good, good.
Oh, Gordon, look. She is stunning. I mean,
thank you.
The first question I want to ask is that, was it not 20 years ago that you kind of envisaged this car, that you wanted to do a lightweight V12 kind of sports car, and this is kind of...
Well, this particular car, 33, was straight after the F1 actually, because the F1 proportions are more spaceship because of the central driving position. I always wanted to do like a classic proportion car.
Yeah.
It's all my favourite 60s cars, and that is 33. And then the opportunity to do a Spider on top of that, on the same lovely shape, was really good. I mean, I was looking forward to it for a long, long time.
It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so take me through. I mean, should we start at the front? I mean, number one, I mean, what's going on with the lights?
So this is very sort of 60s sports racing car with a vertical lights. If you look like T50, the lights are horizontal,
exactly,
as F1 was.
Yeah.
But in the 60s, everybody stacked one light above the other. And I was really keen to have this crease flow through. So it even flows through, if you look carefully into the, it has to fade out here, and then it's picked up again with this.
Again there. And this goes all the way...
It does, yeah, and it's picked up again on the rear haunch as well.
Isn't that is beautiful. And if we come round, we'll have a look at it this side. And this is kind of, you call a catwalk, I believe. So this is
yes,
where I should be.
that is, yes, the top of the door, yeah.
Where I normally spent most of my life. It's beautiful. Look at that, all the way down. And what's going on in the front?
So that's all cooling.
Yeah.
So this car's got 3 radiators. On the T50 we had the oil cooling for the engine at the rear, but all the cooling on this is at the front, which is why it's got such a large intake.
But it's beautiful, I love it, because it's just,
Really simple.
It's
yeah,
simple.
We make all the downforce underneath the car so we can keep the top free of stuff.
The windscreen, and that's a little bit of a touch on the F1, because the F1 driving experience is so incredible because you feel the road is...
Yes, so that's
toes.
really important. That's central to our designs as well, where we
Yeah.
keep the scuttle height really low. So this is around 100 millimeters lower than most other supercars. And we always make sure that the point of this here, ridge, lines up with the center line of the front wheel, so you can really be accurate. And of course, combined with the fact it's not a very big car, you can be, even on an A road, you can be really accurate and place the car really well on the apex. And that's all to do with the scuttle height, the shape, and the fact that it's not a wide car.
I mean, some cars, you literally have that much windscreen.
Yeah, it's like a letterbox, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
It drives me up the wall. So you're going to have a beautiful view.
The visibility is really good, yeah.
Yeah, that's gorgeous in all of them. The 50's a bit bigger, a bit lower?
It's about the same scuttle height, I think. Yeah, there might be, there's millimeters in it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I love about your designers, kind of like supercars nowadays. They all seem to be getting even more shoutier and shoutier.
Yeah.
And your simplicity and kind of pure beauty in a car is just, it's what makes
Well, it's one of our 7 sort of mottos, if you like, a return to beauty. You know, so we try really hard to keep the car uncluttered. There's nothing on our cars that doesn't have a function, basically. So everything's there for a purpose. It seems to be, you're right, it seems to be a competition to see who can make the most startling motor car.
I don't know.
Problem with that is it dates.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the big shoulders in the 80s and things like that. They're kind of like, no, that silhouette will definitely come.
Flares.
Yes, flares, exactly. I mean, I love it. And even this, you know, this lovely line going up to the windscreen wiper. Gosh.
Yeah, the cars we do aren't sort of in your face, if you like. They're more sort of classic and elegant. It's not retro. It's just retro influence, you know. So it's all my influences from all the cars I loved in the 60s, you know, the Lamborghini Miura, the
So
904 Porsche.
Which bit? Tell me each bit that you think is kind of semi-inspired.
I think here, if you stand here and look across the bonnet,
Oh, yes.
that's Miura.
That is, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The rear end is a little bit of Porsche 904, but it's not a copy, it's just influence,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's just, yeah.
It's beautiful, and it's just so clean and so simple, but so beautiful, and the curves. And I love how here it's kind of, I mean, what's going on with this carbon fibre? That's really different.
Yeah, this is, we decided with this we go for a different carbon because there's so much woven carbon everywhere. This is upcycled carbon with random fibres.
Wow.
And just to be different, I mean, for the customers, we have an option of paint, upcycled carbon, or the traditional woven carbon. They can choose whatever they like. But we just thought there's just so much woven carbon around, and I quite like the texture on this.
I really love it.
Yeah, it's really
and
nice.
I've never seen it before.
So anything you see on this car that's carbon, like the rear bumper, for example, that's all the upcycled carbon.
It's fantastic. And I was just, before I kind of spotted the carbon, going, wow, what's going on there? I love how it's kind of almost cinched in here.
Yeah, well, that's to let, this duct here is to let the air out of the front wheel arch.
Right.
And the front radiator, the side radiator.
Yes.
So that's got quite a discreet duct, but it's also to reduce the height, the visual height of the side of the car.
Exactly.
So it looks slimmer.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's corseted.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And where does, because you kind of look at a car like this, especially a car that's got a whopping great big blinking V12 engine in, that's gonna, you know, got some amazing stats. Where does all this downforce, where's the downforce created? Because it looks so simple.
That's the clever bit, if you like. First of all, for this sort of car, you don't need an enormous amount of downforce. This makes 150 kilos at 150 miles an hour, which is more than adequate for handling and safety and cornering.
Yeah.
But we do it with diffusers underneath the nose at the front and diffusers under here. The only active aero is this little spoiler here which pops up, which gets the balance of the car right. But everything else is underneath, which means we can keep it really clean.
It's brilliant. It really is brilliant. Okay, so then let's go up and look at this. So the intake at the top there.
Yes, if you talk about a fully immersive Spider experience, this is it. Because obviously these windows drop all the way down. Yeah. This glass here, the glazing here, drops electrically.
Oh, brilliant.
So you can bring the engine right into the cockpit, but then you've got this as well. And
oh my God.
I know from I've driven 50 a lot now, and the induction sound, even through the roof panel,
and it pulses, doesn't it?
It's lovely, yeah. It's absolutely lovely on throttle opening. And this is going to be literally above your head.
Right in your head. Oh my goodness. So that is literally coming from that ginormous Cosworth engine.
So if you're looking for a true Spider experience, this is about as good as it gets.
And so you said that this is literally attached to the engine.
Yes, as it is on the 33 Coupe. So that's why we've got this clearance here. So when you stop at the traffic lights and you blip the throttle, this will shake, basically.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. It's kind of like those American kind of cars with
the muscle cars,
that have, So that will do that, basically.
Yep.
I love it. And so normally you'll have...
There's 2 carbon panels.
Panels, yeah.
We've given ourselves a target of a minute to get the panels out, and they stack in the front luggage compartment there.
Fantastic. And that's one thing that you've always said, you've got to have a practical car, so you love to have your baggage space. So where is it apart from the front?
even when you've got the panels in, we've still got 180 litres at the back with the side panniers in here, yeah.
It's a bit F1-y.
And it is F1 T50.
Yes.
And the problem is I couldn't do the gull wing opening like I did on the T50 because we don't have the spine.
Yeah.
And I agonised over how we could get to the luggage easily without having another shut line. And so this opens like suicide doors.
No.
Really? Like a mad beetle.
Amazing.
And it's really easy to load the luggage. So.
You just drop straight in?
Yeah.
I was thinking they would do that or something. Wow, so they actually come out.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It was a hot shower moment one night. And I suddenly thought, I know how I'm going to do it.
Suddenly the light bulb.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And how was that? Was that difficult to kind of engineer?
I think the guys, they cursed me a bit.
Yeah.
They struggled a bit, yeah. But it hinges off the rear bumper, which is a nice rigid mounting.
Yeah.
And it opens at a slight dihedral angle as well.
So where does it actually come from? Where does it literally opens
This
there?
is the shut line here, yeah, so it opens. Because if you didn't do that, you'd have another shut line right across this lovely shape.
That would ruin it.
Which would ruin it, yeah.
Yeah. So this whole comes out, I don't even know what to call it, unit thing?
Well, it's a body side, really.
Body side.
Yeah, yeah.
God, corrected me. It is, okay, beautiful. So what are we looking at tyre-wise? And
These are, like 50 and 33, these are absolutely standard pilot, Michelin pilot. You can buy them anywhere. You know, they're
brilliant. So you're not.
We try and design out of the cars anything that would stop you using them, and that's why we have the luggage space. You know, it sounds a bit crazy that you concentrate on a supercar, concentrate on luggage space, but
quite right.
You know, having a chase car, if you want to drive to the south of France, having a chase car with your luggage in is not what everybody wants to do.
It's such a show off. I mean, one day I'd love to do it, but no. I mean, that's what you've prided yourself on is you know, practicality, simplicity, beauty, and this just embodies all of it.
And then the fact that you've got the world's best V12 in the back is a bonus.
Yes, I mean, it is. I think.
We said we hoped it would be when we launched 50, but now I've driven 50 a lot. I can categorically say it is the best engine I've ever driven.
I've heard the 50. Because I'm a local lass to here, and it's almost got to me about 5 miles away, but yes, it is an outrageous noise, isn't it?
It is.
It's kind of like
It's lovely.
like almost F1, Formula One-y kind of sound, isn't it?
And you know, we haven't tuned it at all. That's how the engine is. There's no trick marketing, baffling or anything. That's just how the motor comes.
And when you decided to go with Cosworth, was that because you already had a relationship with them, or was that because you knew how good?
It was a little bit of both, actually, because of course I've been with Cosworth since 72 actually. That was part of it, but I just think they're the best company on the planet for high revving engines, and they've proved it again.
And the 50 goes, talking about high revving, goes up to 12.
12.
And
this is 11.
11, which is still.
The reason why we did that is I want this to be, 50 was always going to be our halo, edgy, rarely focused supercar. And it had to have everything right on the limit. And 12 on valve springs is an absolute limit. So with this, if you take 1,000 revs off the top, you can concentrate on the drivability and the torque a bit more, and that's exactly what Cosworth have done. So this has got even more low down torque, which I find hard to believe because you can poodle, in 50 you can poodle through town in 4th or 5th gear. It's got so much torque.
That's amazing. But yeah, you would think that those sums wouldn't kind of add up.
Yep.
I mean, it's so pretty. Right, let's come down to the pied de resistance. It's a great looking arse. I'm sorry. Okay, and the one thing I love is you don't do silly, crazy.
No, I never do rectangular. Rear lights and exhausts, I think people get too carried away just because you can with LED these days. So I like simple engineered exhaust, always round, never oval or square or oblong or whatever. And same with the lights.
It's really beautiful. And these were, if I'm right, they were 3D printed.
The
Were they?
The exhaust, those can be, yes. There's a big part of the exhaust that's 3D printed actually.
Amazing.
The collector box behind the cats is all 3D printed.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's what I was meaning. I think that's brilliant. I mean, it really is gorgeous, but it just looks so simple. You just don't think that, you know, you'd get that speed. Well, that blinking.
It's really funny. I think simple styling is harder to do.
Of course it is.
Than complicated styling, because complicated styling you get very carried away and you can overdo it really. You don't know where to stop. To get something simple and nicely proportioned is really quite difficult, you know? And you can go wrong on the basic shape if you're not careful. Once you've got the basic proportions right, we cut a lot of scale models before we get to the final shape. At about six to eight models we cut.
You did.
So we can look in 3D.
How long was the process from the first time you put pen to paper to...
It's been about a year.
God, that's quick.
It's pretty quick, yeah.
Well, we know you.
I've got a very good team too in the studio.
Yes.
The studio team is phenomenal, the best I've ever worked with, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what are these? Why have you got these little kind of cutouts here?
So that's all to let as much heat out of the engine bay as possible. And the exhaust box is quite low down, so we need to get air moving across the exhaust.
I like these because you kind of carry them on down here.
Yeah, well, these are to vent the air out of the rear wheel arch to stop lift.
To stop lift?
Yep, so they're aerodynamic. These are heat rejection and these are aerodynamic.
It's amazing, you've just got it all in one. And you don't do clay, you're all...
No, we go straight to model now.
To model.
We go my ballpoint sketches into renderings in the studio, not CAD, just, you know, artistic renderings. And then we go usually from that to surfacing and then to scale models, and then to sign off we do a really quick and dirty foam full-size model, painted.
Quick and dirty.
And then we sign it off from that. So we don't go anywhere near clay anymore.
No. I mean, she's just so pretty. Oh, you must be so proud. And
yeah, I'm pleased with the way it's turned out.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
I think I'm going to have one of these.
I think, oh really? Okay, well there you go. That is, that's testament.
I never used to be a convertible sort of guy. Some of my older classic cars are drop heads, but not many.
No.
But it's mainly because when you do it, you take the roof off, you compromise the structure, but I know this one hasn't got a compromised structure.
Exactly.
So it's going to handle just as well as the coupe. And because I know that, I quite like the Spider.
And how did you manage to do that? Because that is one of the big things. Is that because you've left a smaller space?
No, it's all to do with the structure under the door. So this uses our iStream ultralight technology, which is, so it's aluminium frame with a carbon monocoque, and we can adjust the thickness of the carbon really simply. So with the Spider, we've added just 18 kilos to get the stiffness we need.
Is that it?
Yeah, because some Spiders are up to 100 kilos heavy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the guys have done a good job.
It's utterly brilliant. And I want to have a quick look inside, if we may.
Yeah, indeed. And heavy.
But when it's in the production car, how do you get in?
That there is the door hand, just press that.
You press it?
Yep. And that pops up. And then the release for the luggage is in the door jamb, just for safety. So you have to open the door first.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want suddenly the old...
Here it takes over.
It takes over. Okay, so here we go. We're going to open the luggage. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. Oh, it's brilliant. And I see, look. Lovely. Who did your luggage?
We're doing, it's a British company actually that does the luggage, but we're doing bespoke luggage for this. That's just a prototype case, but there'll be 2 suitcases each side.
Oh, that is
much bigger than that one actually.
Bigger, yeah, it's quite a big space, isn't it?
It is, pretty good. So the idea is you can drive, you know, across Europe with the roof stowed and still have enough luggage for a couple of people.
Which normally you could, if you got a pair of socks, you'd be lucky. This is a beautiful movement. Oh, I love it. And the soft clothes. Right, so we're going to have a look, because I know that you love your space for your bag. Oh my God, it's huge.
Actually, on the production car, it's bigger than this. This is about 100 litres, and on the production car, we've got 115. So we've moved this shut line forward a little bit. So there's two, if you've got the roof on, there's two flight cases that will go in there.
Oh, so you'll have luggage for here and,
yep.
Oh, fantastic.
But with the roof off, of course, the roof stows in here, and then you've still got the 180 litres
and
at
both
the
of
back.
them will fill up that space,
Yep.
the roof. Okay.
Yep.
The one thing I adore is all of this kind of really cool carbon fibre that you can
Yeah,
see.
that's the upcycled stuff.
Yeah.
It's different, isn't it? It's
I really like it.
not everybody's going to go for it, I'm sure, but the basic car comes with the upcycled carbon.
And a proper handbrake.
Yep, I don't do electric
Thank you
handbrakes.
very much. That's a
Find them
proper-
really annoying, and they're heavier.
Yes, they are. This is gorgeous. So carbon fibre is the same in the seats?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yep.
And so when you're going through, because I know for every single car that you do, the design process is just as important as actually the car and designing the car.
Mm-hmm.
And you take people through this incredible kind of sit down and
Yep.
tell me, because number one, this is a beautiful colour. How many different colours? What's the design process?
We spent a long time on that. For us,
Speccing,
the customer journey is everything in GMA. We really try and be different from all the other OEMs. You know, we spend a lot of time with the customers. With this, we thought we've got 6,000 standard colours, and that's really confusing for people. So when we did T50, we curated an inspiration book, and we picked about 22 exterior and interior themes that work together well.
Yeah.
Not so people could say, I like that one, I don't like that one, just so they had a starting point.
Yeah.
And that's worked for us so well. So on this, we've got 4 different colour themes.
Oh, nice.
And in each one of those, there's a set of colours with interiors that actually work with them. And once again, that's just a starting point.
Right.
So we've got a return to beauty theme, which is the more classic saturated colours like dark blues, dark greens. Mm-hmm. We've got heritage, which has got our tartan colours, the red, the green.
I've heard about your love of Hawaiian shirts. There might be a little touch
Well,
on that.
there's a Troppo shirt range as well, which are the more vibrant colours. And then we've got a technical range, which are the silvers and the graphites, and you know,
Oh my God,
stuff
how
like
brilliant.
that. Yeah. So we're having a bit of fun. But this car, much more than 50, this car is going to drive people mad speccing it, because when we've been playing on the configurator screen,
Yes.
the difference it makes to the car, you can have, for example, this is generally carbon and black,
Yeah.
but you can have this black as well, so the whole cabin is black. Or you can have the whole cabin body colour. You can have this carbon black, a colour or body colour.
Whoa.
And the last one is, if on the darker colours, we paint this silver, and it looks like a fantastic Targa
Yes.
from
Yes.
way back. And of course, if you have the permutations around all that, you could go on forever. So
These are going to be very long sessions.
I think they are, yeah. Our record for T50 is 8.5 hours for one session. And I think this one could beat that.
Do you think? How many times do you go all the way through and then actually come back to one of the very
Sometimes you
early
do, sometimes you do. Yeah.
Oh, and that, I mean, that's all part of the Gordon Murray kind of experience.
It is. I mean, we set out right in the beginning to be different from everybody else. You know, the way, and part of the way we treat customers is central to that. Yeah.
And I think that's just lovely that you're with every single customer,
Yep.
going through the whole process. You're there for the 8
I love
hours.
it. I love it. I love meeting everybody. You know, it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, exactly. I bet you get
Yeah.
some very interesting characters. How brilliant. Well, I mean, it is beautiful, but simple, and, you know, it just is what it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, you've got the wonderful gearbox. No automatics.
No, I made a big mistake there. Yes.
With the
Nobody wants
with
it.
the 33. No, No, it's proper. And this is, you know, with cars like this, you need to drive properly.
Indeed.
And I find flappy is for people that, not being rude, but quite lazy. Get in there. Not that anyone that drives a flappy van is lazy. But this is so simple. So what was the kind of the inspiration for?
Well, central to the design was driver focus again, which is why we're suggesting a different colour on the driver's seat, just to reinforce the fact that it's all about the driver. The poor old passenger gets absolutely nothing. They get an air vent and a grab handle.
Well, it's like the T50. They're in the back. You know, it's all about the driver.
Second row,
isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
So
cheap seats.
it's all about the primary and the secondary controls, all clustered around the driver.
Yeah.
Very simple, easy to use, analog, no touch screens. Same philosophy as 50, really.
Yes.
The steering wheel has a minimum amount of buttons and things on it, and it's nice and thin. The grip's nice and thin.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I just don't like these modern, thick steering wheels that you can't get your fingers around.
Exactly.
You lose the feedback, you know, you really do. If you jump in a classic car with a thin rim wheel, it's amazing the feedback you get.
Exactly, and they're all kind of little wooden, thin. And I find, you know, if you're driving a car with all of that kind of stuff on the wheel, you're fiddling about too much.
Yeah. So the wheel, we've even managed to get rid of the column stalks as well. So
yes.
There's some of those I don't like. So those are indicators on the outside there. You operate with your thumb.
Fantastic.
And then you've just got a little thumb wheel each side. The left-hand one controls the left-hand screen information, and the right-hand one's volume, and that's it.
And then just lights, horn.
Yes, that's headlamp, flasher, and horn. In case you're coming up too quickly on something a bit slower.
Probably would be used quite a lot, especially if we were driving it. It is just lovely. It's a really, I can't wait to get in, but of course I'm not going to get into this one, but we will get in one. And I love the
you can sit in it if you like.
Pedals. Oh no, I won't. I'll scratch it. I'll do something. But I love the pedals. They're great. Are they going to be on every one? Yes.
So engineering art. You know, we haven't backed off on 33 just because 50 was a halo car. So the quality of the engineering is exactly the same. So all the bits on the car, even the bits that the owners will never see, are engineering art.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. So you can see all the pedals and all the bits that work. So when do you start the process with the first customer?
So we're starting speccing 33s, I think, this summer. Yeah.
And 50s are just going into production?
50, yep, the production line's underway.
Which is amazing.
The customer cars on the line. Yeah.
First customer's on next door.
There are a lot of excited people around, I think.
It really is.
And we're just starting to prototype 33. We got the first 33 monocoque about a month ago, and we're building the first XP1 at the moment.
Build it, and that's when Dario will come in.
Yep.
And you'll get him in.
And a test team. Yep.
And a test team, and then.
Yeah, we'll be driving 33 this summer.
Can I come? I think I'll hear it anyway.
It's
so exciting, Gordon, honestly. And from, you know, when we had our chat last year and it was, you know, the 50 was just happening, to see how much has happened in such a short amount of time and how exciting it is for Gordon Murray Automotive and all your team.
And it's fun.
It really is.
It has to be fun.
It has to be fun. Well done. I'm so happy.
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited.
Thank you.
It really is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Just going to look at it with you. Love it. Thank you.
Pleasure.